What's up, y'all? This is Aaron Gordon here. I definitely just wanted to put a little quick podcast out. Just updating y'all on everything. There's a lot that I definitely do want to talk about, especially when you're talking about the podcast, everything that's going on. And where we're at. Where we're at in our society here. Um, it's really interesting because you have these talks with people. You don't know exactly what to say. Obviously, with me getting my master's, I'm in college. There's just been so many, negative and positive things that I've seen, throughout racism, throughout this pandemic that we're going through. And there's really been nothing like it. And I think that people have to understand that when you're going through this type of stuff, the pandemic and the racial issues will really hit at you extremely hard if you're not ready for it. That's the thing. And most people have kind of braced for this stuff, but most haven't. I think a lot of people, this stuff is kind of shocking and confusing. And for me, it's not. And I think that it's really funny how a lot of people will go through, this entire pandemic that we're in and be extremely shocked on what happens and what doesn't happen. But for me, this is a personal thing for me. I just have never been a huge person in being shocked when I find out negative things, because I've seen things that have been way worse in terms of, a pandemic. I've seen war. I've seen a lot of other things that were not caused by, when that's the thing, I haven't seen it, but I know that there are things, some people act like that stuff has never happened. Um, we're talking about racial issues, and that stuff has been going on for years. And I think for us to, and I'm talking more of a Black community, for us to really understand what is next, we have to look at ourselves first. And that's me. That's the thing. A lot of people will be like, Aaron, what are you talking about? I think Black people have to look at themselves first. And, I'm not one of these guys that, are saying that there's no racism. I'm not one of these guys that absolutely, I'm Republican and I'm nothing. I'm not Democratic or Republican. I think that they both have their issues in general. I think when you're looking at a historical perspective, you have to look at what the Republicans did for the Blacks, and you have to be like, that was better than what the Democrats did. And you look at now, I mean, the Republicans, they support, Trump to its highest nth degree. And, some of the stuff that he says is just ridiculous. So when you're looking at this stuff, there's no real right side. And I think that when people are going through all this stuff, people are just looking at why racism is going on. And the reason why racism is going on is because Blacks don't even treat Blacks nice. And I think that that's one thing that when you're looking at our society and you're asking, why is racism still going on? Because Black people don't like Black people, and Black people shoot and kill Black people, and Black people fight Black people, as well as white people fight Black people, as well as white people shoot white people, as well as white people shoot Black people, as well as police officers shoot Black people. But the only way that that can really go away, and this is me being completely 100% honest, the only way that that can really go away is if Black people stop shooting Black people, if Black people stop fighting Black people, if Black men and women actually get into real relationships, argue about things, have better understanding with things other than just having sex, and that's it. Once that changes, a lot of things are going to change. Once Black people start having real relationship and real honest conversations with each other and stop asking successful Black people for handouts, and if the Black person doesn't give them the handout, then now they are a sellout. That's where the problem lies. If you want me to be completely honest. See, a lot of people don't want me to be completely honest because they want me to, Black Lives Matter, X, Y, and Z. Yes, I'm all for that. That stuff is great. It is. But that's not the root of the issue. That's not what's going to cause change. What's going to cause change is if two Black people can grow up, support one another. Let's say take a Black girl, Black boy, Black mother, Black father, and both. Let's say that these kids grow up and they're just growing. And you get to high school, they're, following their dreams. They, they didn't even have to go to college to be successful. They can start their own business, and they have their parents to lean on. They don't have one parent. They don't have all these other people telling them this and that. They don't have all these people. You have a family that's going to support you instead of talk about you and ridicule you. Because that's where the issue really lies. Do I agree with people, being gay? No. And that's a religious thing for me. But that is not the root of an issue in the Black family. People are more negative towards people being gay than people going to jail and being pedophiles. People will hide that, but will talk about, oh, they're gay, they're this, they're that. And that's not even a big issue. That's just me. And yeah, I'm not one of these guys that, I'm not going to, like I said, I don't support pride. I support the people in the LGBT community, but I don't support the act of it. And I do believe in equality for everybody. But at the same time, I don't ever applaud sinning. But that's here nor there. Like, to me, like, all that stuff is it's just one thing. Like, a lot of people, they have all these different things that they're sharing, and they are going through a lot of different things. And it's just like, at some point, it's just like, man, like, what is going on with our society today? Like, this pandemic, you can't even get people to wear a mask. You can't get people to, try to social distance. You can't get people to do little things because everybody wants to do what they want to do. And that's an issue, because that's where our unity leaves. And when our unity leaves as a country, we suck. We suck. As a country, whenever our unity is gone, we suck as a country. We're not any good anymore. We will struggle for as long as possible, for as long as we do anything. A big reason of that is because we don't even have our own identity as a nation in all reality. But I'm not even going to go towards that. The issues that we have in the United States are mainly due to everybody wants to do what they want to do. Agree or don't agree, you know that that's the truth. You got people who are texting and driving. You have people who want to do what they want to do. You have people that do all the stuff that they want to do, but don't want to do the little necessary things to make things better. Like I said, I'll go right back to racism. Like, there's very few people that are going to coach others. Like, there's very few Black people that will coach other Blacks to say, hey, this is what you ought to do, instead of letting Black people figure it out on their own. Like, if you are a Black, even if you're in college, like, you're talking about all these other young Black people, why don't we help them out? Why don't we tell them, hey, you have a decision to make. Either you're going to go down this path or this path. You can't just say, oh, hey, you ain't going to do this. You have so many people that are so negative just in our society. But what does that do to? That's due to thousands upon thousands of years of, even before the United States even was even a thing. It started thousands upon thousands of years before, of people feeling like they are in this pyramid. Nobody's in a pyramid. We're on this big circle all together. That's the issue. People think that they have to get on top of somebody else to be higher on the pyramid. And that doesn't matter. There's technically pyramids all over the place. But pyramids to me suck, because the person who's up front ain't no better than the person who's all the way on both sides. So you got the person up top, and you got, billions of people that are, on the lower, and you have your millions of people right here, and then you have your thousands of people, and then you have the top, whatever. they're no different. A lot of people that were at the top were just down there with the other billions of people. But people don't even look at it like that. Everybody looks at it as a competition, and it's not even a competition. Do you even really want to win that competition? Like, let's just sit here and be honest. Like, who wants to win a competition like that? It's all about, what do you do for your family? How can you help them? How much do you enjoy what you do? And that's really it. Because it's all about enjoyment. People talk about money and all these things. And yes, you need to have money to be successful. Make your money that you feel that that's what's going to make you happy. Like for me, I'm going to make as much money as I need to be happy. You know, as much money as I need to, I will make that money to be happy. I'm not going to make as much money as I can to be rich. Like if me living in a big, huge mansion is going to make me happy, because guess what? Me personally, I've had the experience of knowing people at all different levels. There are people that live in a nice, I'll be honest, this me being completely honest, I don't know very many people that are on Section 8 or homeless that love their living situation. I'm not going to sit here and say that money isn't everything, because money is something, but it's not everything. And I'm not going to say it plays no factor. There's a lot of people that live in a nice 2-bedroom home, you know, nice settled in family, and they're absolutely happy. People love them, people understand them, and they are enjoying life. Then you got, I'll be honest, then you got people who live in the biggest, nicest, huge mansions that absolutely hate their life. Now, I'm not going to say that people that don't live in those mansions aren't, they don't enjoy it, but there are people that have their own struggles that live absolutely great. And I'm telling you, that's all just a part of it. And yes, there are people that have their flaws, but guess what? Like, me personally, this is me as a person, I'm willing to deal with people's flaws if they are true, genuine flaws. Like if somebody's not good at something, or somebody needs help, or somebody, but I'm not going to put up with, certain things like disrespect, certain things like that. But that's just me being completely honest. Like, this is me just 100% going off the cuff. But those are issues that I see that we have. Like, I was looking at the Tupac interview when he was my age, and, there are certain things that I agree with now. But looking at his interview that he did, I don't believe that he always represented everything that he said. If you're talking about the Black community and loving the Black community, you can't talk about hurting or going against another Black member. Like for me, I like there are certain things like I don't agree with. Like it's 2020. That WAP video, WAP, by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, people are gonna look at that years from now and be like, what was that? But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna bash them. Now, when I say, yeah, I don't agree with that yet, but I'm not gonna sit back here and call them X, Y, and Z, because I support the community. They are very successful. But is it a mess for me? I agree with, grown women who are, Cardi B, who's a mother, putting that out. No, I don't. But for me to bash them, for me to call them names and all, to me, that's not very good. That's not very fair. And and I'll be honest, I love listening to Dave Chappelle. I talk to my brother Evan about Dave Chappelle every once in a while. It's actually really funny. And he's all about fairness. Like, is that fair for him to do? Is that fair for me to bash those women? Because that's what they are. They're I mean, people look at them as some childish kids that just ran out. They're grown women. They are 26, 27 years old with kids. I mean, they're grown. They go through their own struggles. They have, certain things that they have to attend to. But that's just all, reality purposes. And they have to look at certain things like that. So in saying that, I'm tuning out. I'm going to give y'all another one of these discussions. But I'll be honest, like that's where I'm at in terms of the life that the type of things that we're in right now. Those are the things that I think that we all should look at. We all should really lead to. But thank y'all for tuning in.